springs you made in a certain way, and if I can go to it, you made yourself, you try to go 3 colors that it can be seen. You made the first coil. Ooh. I should not be touching this. No, it's just I touched the board. You're not supposed to hold the board. You confuse the electronics. It's very easy to confuse the system. You have the first coil, then you superimposed a second coil on it. If I show you, you see something else, that the first coil, if you remember, had, maybe we do it this way. We call the green, it's important we get it. We call this green coil the small coil inside. That is, the green coil is the gravitational coil. The blue coil is a magnetical coil. And if you remember, we put the end of the gravitational coil back in itself and it comes out. If you look, you have beginning of gravitational coil here too. So your gravitational coil is inside, then it's gone through itself and it comes out, and you have the magnetical coil which is over the two. This is your, don't forget what you made. You made one turn of 70 and you made one turn of 140 or 150. This one is the 70. You have the same combination in 150. So what you have is one coil, and then if you remember that, we go back on the same thing. We put smaller version. This is the center coil which came out. This is your inner core with its tail up. That's the beginning of it. Then we had the gravitational coil which was over this, sorry, the magnetical coil. This is the first coil. This is a 70 turn. Then you had the bigger coil, which is the 150, the green one. That's the end of it. Then you had, again with this, the magnetical coil. Where these are the 2 points. Where on your gravitational point, if you remember, you went in. and you came out. Where? At the beginning of it, you are here. So if you look, you have two sets of coil literally inside each other. This is, for example, the bigger one. I'll bring it out that you can see it. This is the bigger one. Oh, yes. Oh, what I brought it up. I could feel it yesterday. You're worried about him. He's happy. He's there. He's on camp. So, what you have is the bigger coil, and you have the smaller coil. Each one going through, coming out their own center. So, what you have, in fact, is like two shells inside each other, like this, totally cascading each other. This is very important. You will understand that center coil behaves as a gravitational. Excuse me, Fabio, can you focus on the camera, please, for the next 10 minutes? So what you have is the gravitational inside the magnetical, and then itself, the unit become gravitational inside another magnetical gravitational. This is important. So what you get is that, can we do it with this? Yes, that works. So now what is important is to get the result, how you connect. The connection is the secret to part of your success. What you have to do is, remember, you have gravitational and you have magnetical, two sets of. And then they themselves become gravitational and magnetical field to each other. You create a cycle over a cycle to feeding the totality of the cycle. This is the reason for these units to be so powerful. So you have one set superimposed by another set, and then themselves superimposing each other's magnetic field. So what you do, you compress into the higher order plasma strength. Yes. So now, remember, gravitational goes clockwise, magnetical goes anti-clockwise. So what does this mean is you have the orange bits, the orange end is the end of your gravitationals. You started, the gravitational goes clockwise, it comes out, and then the same in here. You add your gravitational from the inner circle to the beginning of the bigger gravitational. So you add gravitational power into gravitational power. So it means you absorb more from your environment. Whatever you can, you take it. Then you see it goes out and it comes back as end of the orange again. So now you connect your gravitational from here to the magnetical on the clockwise. Now what you collected from your gravitationals, you feed to the inner core magnetical that you can boost and compress. Then, as it goes through, magneticals clockwise, you connect your other end of magnetical back to, if I go that way, to magnetical of the big one, clockwise again. You collect, and then you connect to the clockwise. So now what you are left with, if I can show it, is, let's see if we can get a collection of colors here. Tell me if you see the yellow. You have here and you have here. 2 points. You have beginning of the gravitational of the smaller free, and you have the end of the magnetical of the bigger free. These are your 2 points of reference. We consider the gravitational as negative or as input because it absorbs in, and we consider the magnetical as the positive of what goes out. The whole starter process, this gives you the first set. Remember, you had one double set. Excuse me, Fabio, stay there. I got to do. You remember, you take from gravitational, which you've gone through, into the gravitational of the bigger, and then you go through magnetical on the clockwise to go. If you look at it in a very complicated way, I have to find a color that we don't have. The circle starts from here, it goes through itself, goes winding up, goes to the gravitation of the bigger one, increasing the gravitational field forces. Then it feeds to the magnetical clockwise, to the bigger clockwise, and you have a total field forces. So what you got left to connect with is this point and this point. If you look at the increase of the plasma, you're looking at very minute amount of matter state of plasma which are releasing their energy continuously. And if you look, something which is important, and I said to you to do when you started it, any wires which connect to any of these to anything else has to be nano-coated wires. You cannot use ordinary wires. That's why we ask you to nano-coat some wires, that you need these wires to be able to connect from, you do again not only nano-coat, you put the same process, you put this through the plasma, because then they still carry the forces. So what you use these for connection to whatever you needed. This is known as one plate. This is the basic foundation of the power supply, how you add, how you increase power, and how you go to different size. So this, you can put this, we asked you to get yourself 3 plastic trays or plates. This sits on one plate. This is the basic for your first plate. But for you, when you are doing this, there is one thing important. When you put this together in this shape, you see you have a circle free in the middle. Remember, you are working on a universal condition. What does a universal condition mean? If this is the size of the plasma of the sun, you need a sun in the middle. This has become the sun for the bigger one. But to guarantee an indefinite supply, you need to put what I told you, to put some of that Gans in a paste shape. You take a ball, any size ball, which can have fine that fits into this, and it can be nano-coated, and you place it inside. So you create a sun, you create a source of energy continuously, that even when the layers are not releasing continuously, the center sun gives you continuous supply for decades. So what you do, you place a sun in the middle. Just fill up, depending on the size of your ball, not the liquid condition, the paste condition. When I speak about the paste, this is the paste I use. I can show it to you. It is fairly robust. You can see it. This is a Gans, a specific type of Gans. And you can see it. It is like a paste. It's like a glue. You want to see it?
Yes, please.
This paste is source of the energy for your systems for a time to come. So what do you do? Okay. So you put this paste into a balloon. The first ones we tried a balloon. We put it in a balloon, and you place the balloon. You know these water balloons children play with, fill it up with water? This is what we did for testing. But you can get a small plastic ball and fill it up with a paste and place it in the center. This gives you the guarantee of what you call the guarantee of the energy supply, plasma fields, as long as you like.